Good afternoon, ma'am.
Please introduce yourself and keep your question quite brief.
Yes, understood. Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Akruti Kalia. I'm currently in second year of BTech Mechanical Engineering. Ma'am, my question is, as a female student at IIT BHU, I, alongside hundreds of girls, look up to your inspiring journey in politics and leadership. Ma'am, what message or advice would you offer to us young women who, like me, aspire to make their mark in these fields, particularly in context where gender diversity can be a challenge?
I want the question repeated. Read it again. You're reading from your phone.
Yes, ma'am.
You can come forward if you are, just come forward and ask. She wants to know as a...
I'm avoiding that light. It's into my eyes. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, as a female student studying at IIT BHU, I, alongside hundreds of girls, look up to your inspiring journey in politics as well as leadership. What message or advice would you like to offer to young women like me who aspire to make their mark in these fields, particularly in context where gender diversity can be an issue or challenge?
Thank you. Just in politics and leadership alone is not the problem for gender diversity. Gender diversity is a word which has now so many connotations. But I would say the presence of women actually brings in different perspectives, and anybody who's experienced it will know. I've had big corporates who are listed companies in the stock market tell me that once they've had women representation in their boards, they've had newer perspectives to look at the same problem. And therefore, solutions are also a lot more now wider and available. More choices are available. And they say that when women's presence is in the board, the company functions or performs much better. So I don't think, sorry, please sit down. I'm going to just keep walking. Please sit. I'll come and sit otherwise, but I'm avoiding that light. So, gender diversity or gender presence in any organization brings in that quality. Now, so what is required for the women? Just to be there. Nothing stops you from being there. You will have to be sure that you're not abrasive, but you are forceful enough to be there. Push yourself to be wherever there is an opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Now, a hand is raised over there. Please come forward. A mic will be given to you. Kindly introduce yourself and keep your question brief. Can the mic be given to him? Microphone, please.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I am Aditya from Electronics Engineering Department. So my question to you is, as you being at a key position of the upcoming third largest economy in the world, so how do you manage your mental health and well-being, and what are the thoughts in your mind when you take critical economic decisions and all? Thank you.
Thank you for asking a question. I thought I was talking to you. The question has come back to me. You know, this is a bit of a long story. I'm not going to take much time, but I will give you this. To keep your mental balance, or to keep your confidence, or to be sure of yourself, not really sure of all the ideas that you're executing, because there can be change of ideas, newer ideas, and so on. It comes from the family. It starts with the family, then with the group of your friends, then, as I said, Sakha or a mentor, and then basically also at an individual level, you want to remind yourself that you have an opportunity to play a role for nation building, you get it. So I actually take this opportunity to say, my parents were a brilliant support. They didn't push me to anything. But whatever I did, they said, yes, but do with two things in your mind. Be truthful, be honest to the work. Don't do anything which is going to bring crap to you. And after that, you will have to manage the crap. Don't do it. So one thing which was constantly ingrained into me was that discipline to be honest. And if you're truthful, you don't have to worry about what you said earlier, what you're saying now, what you have to say 2 days afterwards, and so on. So that support from the family. And subsequently, I've been extremely lucky in having good people who've advised me on reading, on writing, on thoughts, and who never deterred me from doing whatever. In fact, for the background of a family that I come from, no one has been in politics. And for the value systems at that time in the South, what, you're entering into politics? My God, please, don't do that. Would have been the first line. And there were many of my relatives who said that to me. But no, my parents and my in-laws, all of them have been, right, absolutely, do it, but do it well. So the long and short is, it should be there from your family. If it has not been there, you have to go on improving yourself, believing in yourself. And don't care, as I said, public opinion or expectations of people around you, however close friends they may be, however close relatives they may be, you can only be good to them, but if you start matching to live up to that expectation, it will defeat you. I'll give you a story which many management school people will know. There was a race to climb a pole. Many of you will probably know it already. I'll tell you anyway. And the competence for it was 1, a frog, 2, a monkey, 3, a giraffe, 4th, an elephant. Climb a pole the fastest. Whoever does it fastest is the winner. Do you think it's possible for the all competents to do it the same way? The monkey does it masterly, and the monkey wins it. But does that mean the elephant has no role in life? Or does that mean the frog doesn't live its life? And does that mean the giraffe is a loser? No. So we need to be clear in ourselves that I have a space, I have a role, I have to perform that and perform that well. But if the public expectation is that I have to climb a pole, that's not my cutout. I'm not cut out for it. So why do I worry, oh God, I couldn't make it like the monkey to climb the pole? Am I worth living? Do I think I can achieve anything? These are wasteful thoughts. So be clear in your head.
Thank you. I request the next questioner to come ready for want of saving time. He can come forward, and the person who wants to ask next can also stand behind him. Yeah, please come forward. And those who wish to ask can just follow up behind them and kindly wait for your turn. Yeah,
A very good afternoon, ma'am. I am Divya Gandhi, second year undergrad here at IIT.
Your name?
BHU. Divya Gandhi.
Divya?
Divya Gandhi.
Divya Rani.
Gandhi.
Gandhi, all right. Why? Yes, Divya.
So, ma'am, as we all know that college life is pretty challenging with peer pressure and the difficulty to adjust in. So, ma'am, my question to you is that, have you ever felt self-doubt or anxiety or difficulty to fit in? And if yes, then can you please share some experiences?
Oh,
and
yes.
how did you cope
Come
up with that?
Come up, Divya. This is not unique to Divya. And I'm sure there are at least 50 fellows sitting there who all want to ask that same question which Divya came to ask. It's not unique to Divya, it's not unique to anybody. And it's not unique only when you're a student. Even in politics, even if you're one of the senior leaders, I'm not talking about me. It can be anybody. That position where you feel left out, or you feel that you're not wanted, or you feel maybe no longer for me, never give up. There's no chance. You don't have to estimate for yourself, having come somewhere, that you're not meant to be there. Not at all. That's more a trial for you inside. It's a question for you, and you have to negotiate it. If that feeling comes in you, it means you're being honest to yourself about, I need to do something to get out of this. No one from outside will help you to do it, however much they are your well-wisher. And I'll tell you, Divya, even a mother sitting and talking with a child or a student who's in the college can only tell her, saying, you be sure, you'll be confident, okay, all that. But actual cracking point is within you. And therefore, it's worth spending time sitting alone and talking to yourself about it. Not to think that this thought is bogging me down. And if it is bogging you down, it is depressing you, go meet up with some people. And you don't want to be meeting up with some people, no harm. I'll tell you the brilliant thing to do. Take a good fresh air walk. One of the things that I'd like to highlight again is this author who I'm referring to, Bertrand Russell, an eminent philosopher, thinker who lived quite some time ago, says he went to one of the institutions where the students think they should show him the wood nearby. Its wood is not a forest, but a small kind of a, let's say, one. The students take him to walk there. All of them like it. He also likes it. And there were such a lot of flowers in that one. By chance, he just talked to one of them or two of them and asked her, oh, wonderful flower, what is it? Would you know the name? The enthusiasm with which the professor, Bertrand Russell, was taken for the walk into that wood, not one of them could name even the flower there. The point that I'm underlining here is you go for a good walk, you refresh yourself, but not to spend time. Spend it, but also cultivate interest for the things there. If only those students had spent time to know what are those flowers which are blooming and could have told him, saying, this is that flower, it belongs to this category, but its fragrance is brilliant, or it has a quality about it. Like, I'll give you one example. Sorry, do you want to go sit down? It's all right, huh? So, I'll give you one example. I'd always read so much about Kadamba flower, which in the Gangetic belt has a very big role. It also is very spiritually, a lot of qualities are attributed to the tree. Krishna loves to be under the tree. Devi Lalita loves the tree's flowers. She's compared to the flower. She wears the flower and so on. So I wanted to have this flower grown in our garden in Hyderabad. So I took the sapling, planted it. It took its own time. And when it bloomed, it was such a joy. The pictures were circulated among all our relatives and so on. But I learned something in the process. Bats are the creatures which pollinate Kadamba flowers. And we had no bat in my area. So the flower could never get pollinated. But it was an interesting fact that I got to know. So that's the kind of thing I'm asking you to do. Take a walk, breathe fresh air, or do something, but apply your mind to it. You want to be at home, then do some cooking in the house. You go into the kitchen, you do your own favorite dish. a lot of stress comes out of you once you do it. That is the cathartic effect things can have on you. So, Divya, you're good that you asked me this question, but I think you can spend a lot of time with yourself asking this, or go around walking, look at the positive things around, and you have a purpose in life. Identify it. We all need that purpose to be served, so we need you to succeed.
Yeah, the next one, please.
So, good morning, ma'am. Myself, Arush Agarwal. Good afternoon, ma'am. Myself, Arush Agarwal. My question is that it is said that education act as a catalyst in the economic growth of a nation. So, what strategies do you think are essential so that education plays a significant role in the economic growth of India?
Yes, certainly. Not just our government, even governments earlier believed in it. All of us believe in it. And Prime Minister Modi's strongest message is to the youth, saying, come forward, learn, get yourself skilled. And if you're going to employ yourself, in the sense you're going to start something like a startup, the government is with you. And today's economy largely depends on the newer, youth-driven, new economy, the kind of innovations which are coming through. So, yes, the answer is an all-rounded yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, the next one, please.
Ma'am, my name is Geetansh and I'm a first-year student.
Yeah, Geetansh, please go ahead.
And I'm a first-year student. First of all, I would like to congratulate the Cabinet of India for the various honorary achievements throughout the years. Thank you, ma'am. And ma'am, what would be your advice to the youth of India for managing our finances for our mental wellness in future?
A very sound question. Financial awareness is absolutely critical.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, even the ocean depends on the drops which come from the rain. The ocean depends for the rivers which go and drain themselves into the ocean. So even if you, at the point in time of placement after your degree, even if you're going to have a crore rupee check given to you, your financial planning is absolutely critical. And you don't need to wait for you to get that 1 crore. I was going to say, next mic will go there. So don't worry, you don't have to come this side. You can be there and I'll have the mic go to you. So financial planning is a critical thing, and little trickles, even as you have your scholarship or whatever fund with which you're studying, little trickle be put aside. We were all told when we were young, your first expenditure should be saving. Your first expenditure should be saving or for saving. So put aside money and then start spending. Saving is a very important thing.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Ma'am.
Yep. We'll alternate between these two rows. So I'll request the mic to be given to him. Yeah.
First of all, thank you so much for coming here. My name is Arunanshu Sena. I'm a third-year student in the mining engineering department. So being in an IIT, all of us are in a sandbox or a playground of innovation. But in the rigidity, and both in the comfort and the rigidity of the social structure, most of us choose to follow the same regular path. What do you have to say to the young entrepreneurs, to the future leaders, and the members of the future workforce, so that they experiment more and try out new things?
100%. If among you all 10 people will have to, for some reason, take up a paid job, the education that you have acquired with your talent and skill, and some help from the family, major help from the family, some help from the government, you can set a new path for this country. In my childhood, and I'm sure your professors will also say, there was nothing else except for you've studied, look for jobs. Today's India is not that. You can start something and give 10 other people jobs. You can, within a couple of years, leave that and go for a different one and try your innovative skills. You're the best in the world. Studying in IIT is the best thing. Every minister with whom in the G20 or in the bilateral that I talk, who come from the Western developed economies, they say, what do you all do with your young? My God, they are bright, they're dedicated. They come from fantastic institutions. India has so many of them. So that's the kind of recognition that you all have. And many of them are now wanting to come back to India saying that's the best place to be. I'm not doing a PR here. India is actually the best place to be because it's blooming now with so many different activities. So go if you want. Go if you wish, only to come back. And I will not play upon the duty aspect as much as your own well-being aspect. Duty, of course, yes, इस देश के लिए हम वापस कुछ करना चाहिए, बिल्कुल करना चाहिए. It's no good we go sit and watch Swadesh and have a tear in the eye. The chap is given haldi, the chap is given soil under that nice box, and the girlfriend gives it to him, so it's all the more emotional. So he comes back. अरे नहीं यार, वो सब भी ठीक है, but come back. Action is here. Action is here, and from here you can deal with the whole world. And there are no just limited stereotypes. You can do a drone for the agriculture. You can give the best of drones for the army in its borders. Or you can set up, I know the director was telling me that 3 different colleges have been merged to become IIT. And I was fascinated to know that there is a pharmaceutical, what is it called? Engineering. You're looking at such wonderful devices which you can manufacture. The world wants it now. So there's so much to do. Come back, even if you go.
Thank you. We have
Vanakkam, ma'am. So myself, Gokula Srinivasan Selvam. I'm MTech Ceramic Engineering. So ma'am, since you're talking about the premise of mental health, so normally for a politician, mental health is affected by the journalists and the press conferences normally. They affect us a lot. In your position, definitely. So ma'am, normally when you go, I've seen many press conferences, they say, you've not done this for people of India, you've not done that. But with all the effort that you have done for this country and they say you have not done anything, how does it feel and how do you cope up with that? And how do you shoot your idea through this membrane to reach all the people of India, ma'am?
You know, that's a very practical question. You've seen me do that, and therefore you're tempted to ask this. It can be very, very frustrating initially. When we were in the opposition, I was the spokesperson for my party. It used to be like, gosh, we're banging our head against a dead wall, it doesn't respond, and so on. But subsequently, when you became the government, you know, let me again go back to giving you an example. She's no more Benazir Bhutto. I used to, being in India before going to UK, watch her because she was speaking in the Oxford University Union as a, probably she was elected representative or something. What a debate. She would just speak like that. But after she became the Prime Minister of Pakistan, she used to be very cautious about what she was speaking. And carefully chosen words, sometimes mumbling, sometimes not audible. And I used to wonder what's happened. And I'm taking her name, but it is true of many others also. So once when you're in the opposition, you have that liberty to smash, talk like that, pound the people in the government. But once you're in the government, you have other constraints. You're speaking on behalf of Government of India. You're a minister in the Government of India. So you have to be extremely cautious. And people get disappointed saying, "Hurray, you spoke so much. That's like, now it's coming this side, you're not able to." That's a second observation. And the third, this is, I've said even in the media, there are some in the media who are very sound in the sense they do their homework. They come with proper understanding of the issue. And when they ask you a question and when you answer it, it benefits the listeners be they citizens or be they other media houses. So that frustration initially, later it has now come to, at least for me, I realize that I need to be even more informed, at least for the sake of those few in the media who meaningfully ask you a good question, and it benefits the rest of them. It changes the atmosphere of the entire press conference.
Thank you. I have to take the black pill now and play the devil's advocate to be between you and ma'am. For the want of time, we can admit 2 more questions. I request one also from our girl students, and 1 question can go now, right away. Yeah,
Say
please.
3 more questions, I'll be brief in my answer.
Yeah, with ma'am's permission, we'll go for 3 more.
Good afternoon, ma'am. As India is approaching towards equal opportunities for both man and women, but still there are some areas left where women are deprived of higher education. So what would be your words for such women?
Yeah, I want to reorder this question as India is reaching towards equality between. No, India has had that equality always.
Yeah, but ma'am.
The change now is in the political arena. We've given it in the rule during Prime Minister Narasimha Rao's time. The reservation for the Panchayat Raj was given, and therefore in the rural areas, women have got elected. What was given as 30% reservation has now gone up to 50% in some states. Now, if that is done for the panchayats, it's not done for the assembly and it's not done for the parliament. That's what has come through now. You may have this allegation that, oh, it's not happening in 24 election. Legitimately, it cannot be done for the 24 election because before every election, you need to have constituencies redrawn through a delimitation process. And for a delimitation process, you need the census figure. And because of COVID, 2020 census was not undertaken. It'll be undertaken in 24. Post that, quickly the delimitation can happen, and in the next election, you can have that women's reservation coming through.
Once again, we'll reserve your question for the last. We'll have 1 question. This guy is waiting for a long time with the mic. Second last question. Others can please take your seat. We'll have enough opportunities to invite ma'am. You can see the spirit, so it calls for another visit of yours in the near future. So we'll have the second last question. Yep.
Namaste, ma'am. Since we are from IIT and a bunch of tech enthusiasts, we would like to know your views about impact of emerging technologies like blockchain and cryptography on India's economy.
I was wondering how till now nobody asked me about crypto.
And how it affects the mental health also.
Yes. How it's affecting mental health. How questions about sustainability because it consumes so much power. I mean, it's not, I hope there's no media here, or I hope you are not sending messages to the media, but even if you do, I want to explain myself. I'm not taking a position as Minister, Government of India to say, no, it consumes so much power, so it cannot be. No, it is affecting mental health, so it cannot be. I'm not saying any of that. And that's where my request is. We need to have a balance in life. You may be tech students. For your education purpose, you need to be before a screen for a long time. But do make it a point to get out of that and observe people around you. Walk around in the parks, watch the trees, watch the pet animals. Don't completely confine yourself only to the screen. As regards crypto, blockchain, we have openly, Government of India has openly said we are not against technology. But as to how these crypto assets are going to be created, maintained, regulated, we are working together with other countries to see, because it's technology driven, we need to have a comprehensive, across the countries, some kind of a template to regulate. That's where it is.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll have the last question by our student.
Hello, ma'am. I'm Jaya Yadav, Chemical Part 3. And my question is specific to a very specific segment of Indian economy. Like, there are a lot of single women or single mother in the government services, and some of the services are very hectic, like politics or police services. And since they're a single woman or single mother, they have to go through a lot of stress, anxiety, and sometimes they got very frustrated.
Can you please keep your question brief? Yeah,
Yes.
Don't
So,
give a background.
according to you, what Indian government is doing to to help these mothers or say single women?
See, for helping single mothers, there are at different stages, different kinds of help that you need to give.
Yes.
One, first of all, you accept that there are single mothers and there is no prejudice against them. The government doesn't have any prejudice against them.
Okay.
Two, if the children are young, there are places to look after the children when the mother is at work. Three, if the mother is still, in the sense, at an early stage of her career, we want to make sure that she is not stopped from higher career choices, trying to skill her, upskill her, and so on. So we are bringing in also incentives to companies to make sure that women's presence is there. So all these, I'm just giving it in brief, should address this issue of women to feel confident that even if they were to be single parent, they will still have equal position in the society.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
If you'll allow me one that I want to ask all of them.
Please.
You're all going to be toppers. You're all going to be brilliant in your studies. I want to know how many of you all sing. One person. How many of you all do something like gardening or collecting coins or having a stamp album, or you have some other pursuit? 10. Okay, 20. No, I'm not counting 2 or 3. How many of you all only read books? Not your technology books, improve on this, cobalt or whatever. Books of any choice, biographies, and anthologies of poem. Only this many. How many of you all can write in your mother tongue? Wow. Write what? Mama, send me something made at home. Papa, I need more money. That? Or write meaningful. You can write passages in your respective mother tongues? I'll give you one demand from my side. In about 500 words in your mother tongue, write about today's meeting and submit it to your director. I don't want to read it because it involves me. But for the sake of a meeting like this with whoever, for them to get an input as to how you've received it and what can be better, at least 50 of you, I don't know what number I said a minute ago, but 50 of you, please write a 500-word piece in your respective mother tongue and please submit it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. And we ensure you that this